Sometimes in life, one refuses to see the truth that is right before their eyes. And when that truth is mixed with love, ambition, and luxury, the voice of reason is silenced. This has happened even to someone like Yaman, an actor who achieved success through his own efforts, winning millions of hearts with his charisma, intelligence, and talent. But then Sarah appeared in his life, and everything changed. Sarah grew up marked by a dark past and an excessive ambition for power, luxury, and control. Her charm could seem seductive, but behind it lay coldness and calculation. Can, without realizing it, fell under her influence. At first, everything appeared innocent. Time spent together, intimate conversations, invitations to high society. With her, Ken entered a world of mansions, expensive gifts, and exclusive events, believing they were simply the rewards of his career. However, each of these privileges came with a price. It was not paid in money, but in freedom and reputation. Sarah exercised a subtle yet relentless control. She first made him feel special and indispensable, then gradually isolated him from his surroundings, drawing him into her own world, a circle of businessmen with shady ties, elite figures with tainted pasts, and luxuries that hid illicit business. Little by little, the disciplined, hard-working Can turned into someone trapped in a nightlife without control, losing the impeccable image he had built. The trap was set. A private driver, designer clothes, exotic trips, all in exchange for giving up a part of himself. His motivation was no longer art or personal achievement, but the opportunity she offered him. At that point, he had lost his independence. And the worst part was not only the potential financial ruin, but also the erosion of his dignity and public image. From an actor admired for his strength and independence, he had come to seem like a man living in the shadow of a woman's luxury, unable to make decisions for himself. If Can does not break this cycle, the consequences could be irreversible. The end of his career, estrangement from his family, and even health problems. Today he remains a talented and beloved man, but neither fame nor beauty can protect him from the effects of a wrong path. Sarah's dark past threatens to devour his future. This is not a love story, it is a warning. The decision to wake up is in Can's hands, but time is running out. When I think of Demet Özdemir, I see a woman who, unlike many in this world, full of lights and appearances, has managed to stay on course with determination, even when the circumstances around her became turbulent. She has faced difficult moments, constant rumors, media pressure, and situations that could have undermined her peace of mind. Yet she has remained upright, head held high, combining elegance and inner strength, qualities that have been with her since the beginning of her career. It's not that she hasn't known pain, because I am certain she has, but she has chosen not to make her suffering part of the show, nor to turn her life into a display of unnecessary scandals. While some lose themselves in conflicted relationships or impulsive decisions, Demet has chosen a different path: discipline, consistency in her work, and careful selection of projects. Some circles may not appreciate her silence in the face of certain controversies, but I believe that this is where much of her intelligence lies, not providing headlines at the expense of her peace, not allowing others to write the story of her life. That ability to maintain distance, to avoid reacting to every provocation, and not to fuel media conflicts is precisely what has kept her in a position of respect. I know that for some, her reserve is seen as coldness, but I see it as a sign of maturity. In a field where many are willing to expose everything for a moment of notoriety, she has learned to say no. And that constant, silent but firm no has allowed her to preserve something that is quickly lost in this industry: credibility. She has not had to commodify her private life to remain relevant. Her professional decisions, her collaborations, the roles she accepts, all seem to follow a thoughtful plan, not improvisation. It is also true that she is not detached from reality. Being a public figure means constantly receiving unfair criticism, gossip, comparisons, and speculation. Despite this, Demet has learned to distinguish those who speak out of envy from those who do so with admiration or constructive criticism. This clarity prevents her from becoming trapped in the toxicity of her environment. Instead of engaging in cycles of revenge or endless explanations, she prefers to let time and her actions provide the answers. And while it may seem simple, this requires a character that few possess. I am convinced that this inner strength also comes from experiences that forced her to mature quickly. It is no coincidence that, while others seem stuck or trapped, she keeps moving forward, creating opportunities and consolidating her name beyond fleeting trends. She has understood that fame without control is a trap, and that true success is not being talked about by everyone, but staying in the industry with dignity and perseverance. In this sense, Demet gives lessons without needing to make speeches. In an era where it is so easy to be consumed by relationships that take more than they give, seeing her protect her circle, her friendships, her family, and her energy is proof that not everything is justified for a few seconds of attention. Many of her fans, like me, see in her someone who has decided not to mortgage her future for momentary whims. And even though the pressure must be immense, she continues to manage her life with admirable balance. That is why I believe that Demet Özdemir is not only a talented actress, but also a woman who recognizes her worth beyond the screen. She has managed to protect what she has built, and this makes her a role model both within and outside her profession. In an environment where it is so easy to get lost, she continues to carve a clear path without allowing outside voices to decide for her. And I am convinced that this is only the beginning of an even stronger and brighter chapter, because those who know how to protect themselves and remain firm in their principles will, sooner or later, not only survive, but triumph.